Welcome back to the Self Indulgent Podcast. I'm your host, Mariah. I hope you guys are doing okay. Shit is getting realer and harder. I think there's a lot of anxiety, worry, and fear right now, as should be happening. And yeah, I think trying to take things day by day, move through things day by day, because otherwise it will consume me. I feel like I'm finally at a place. This is like the first year where I'm depression is not beating my ass, which is fucking funny given the state of the world, which is probably good. I probably didn't need to be super depressed while this shit was going on. So what I've been doing, I've been trying to live and do things while we can, while also still doing my grad school stuff, working, trying to find time to come back to my Substack. I really enjoyed being on Substack writing. Ways of expression are really important right now. Anything to get that energy out, whether it's anxious energy, depressed energy, like we talked about many episodes ago with the nervous system, when you're kind of in a hypo state, right? So depressive state, the only way to kind of get out of that at some point is through activation. You have to be activated to get to that next kind of step. And sometimes you kind of come out of depression into anxiety because you're activated now, which is great. Like, and then that next step is kind of coming out of that anxiety and being at a more relaxed state. But you got to get activated first. And so yeah, anything that you can do to express yourself. I've been trying new things for the first time, finding things that I enjoy that make the mundane, like day to day task. I have to try to find enjoyment in them because otherwise it's just going to feel like everything is a bulldozer. And once they compound like that, that's what'll kind of send me into a spiral. So trying to catch them, meet me where I'm at as moments pass and catch it as it's happening. So I implore you to do that. Music has been really helpful for me. I've come to realize that I like fucking around and dancing. So I will be trying to go out more to do that, maybe once every other week. Even if I'm in the house and I need to clean up because things are a mess, I'll put on some sort of club mix and that'll help me get through the cleaning and help me kind of enjoy it a little bit instead of letting my thoughts go crazy. So that's one of the things I've been doing. The weather's playing games. It's a little too chilly. Like we had a almost 80-degree day, and then yesterday it was 40 and raining. The weather's been all over the place, but I do intend to be outside as much as I can. I don't want to feel caged and cooped. That's a horrible way to say that. I do want to feel as free as I can possibly feel, right? And I definitely have a lot of privilege in that, recognizing that as well. I've also found an urge to be more educated in certain things. It feels like we're in a time where they're trying to take away our knowledge, our understanding, like with our values, meaning, all these things. I find I've been called to like certain like philosophical texts and things like that. Finding time to read it is a whole nother story, but I do have like a list of things I'm interested in. As I'm getting older, like I am kind of finding a urge to like make my own playbook, if that makes sense. We've talked a little bit before about how we all have our own manuals, right? Just because I live by my manual doesn't mean that somebody else lives by that manual. And so we kind of can get irritated or triggered or bothered by other people and how they live in their manual. I think the example I used was like, doesn't matter if you're late, like how do you like being late to something. One person could be really pissed if you were 5 minutes late, but that's just because in their manual, whether they realized it or not, they had been programmed to never be late. They get really hard on themselves if they're late. So if somebody else does it, it's like, what the fuck? Just bringing back that example. We all have our own manuals. And so I think I want to be more conscious about what my manual is and the things that I live by as I'm trying to change. A few episodes back, I did the episode on change, and you guys really liked that episode. What it takes to change, why we don't change, and how lifestyle and personality are actually the same thing. You should go back to that episode if you are interested in that topic. I really did do kind of a deep dive into change, but I could talk about change all day. As I'm in this state of kind of changing, I do kind of want to like keep what's resonating and leave what doesn't, right? And so I think it has me wanting to like reassess some of my values, continue to monitor where I'm triggered, why I'm challenging, why I'm thinking the way that I'm thinking. And so I think I've done a lot of exploration recently in areas that I would have never explored or touched before. Always challenging your why, I think, is really important. Why are you doing what you're doing? To really decide and sit with yourself to say, hey, do I really want this? Is this how I want to live my life? And shift accordingly. So right now, I think what I've committed to the most recently, aside from trying new things and going out more, has been my fitness and health goals. That has been something that I've really just kind of committed to. I think it came from that kind of momentum and talking about change with you guys from the other episode. That episode was motivated by like me waking up and being like, okay, I'm locking the fuck in. It's time to lock the fuck in. And sometimes it really is just this light switch that goes off. And I had been waiting for the light switch moment, especially after so long of feeling really depressed and coming in and out of it throughout the months. I was waiting for that conviction, and it did come. I have this retreat I'm going on at the end of May and other stuff I want to do this summer, God willing, and finances pending, but a lot of things that I want to do. And I have this vision of myself in my head. I'm super obsessed with exercise and lifting. I'm like, you're spending all this time doing it. Let's start actively trying to approach your actual goals and some of your physique goals. I also want to eat better, be healthier. How many years am I going to let go by thinking about it? It's in the back of my head, but I'm never executing on it. And so I was like, I'm locking the fuck in. I started making Pinterest boards and inspiration boards of what I'm looking to do, the type of outfits I want to wear, the type of places I want to go. I just really felt inspired to do that. And so between that and like that book that I talked about in the episode, The Courage to Be Disliked, where they talk about change, I was just like, it's time. I have to lock the fuck in. Also, I think what's helping is everything in the world feels very out of control right now. And I can control what I eat and how I exercise. And so I can get in front of my health in a lot of ways, even though I have an autoimmune disorder, right? So, like, that's a little, right now it's in check. I guess you can't technically say I'm in remission. Like, I haven't had any flares in years at this point just because of me eating. Me obviously being consistent with my medicine. And so I think that why not optimize my health? That's something I can control and that I want for myself. And I think that has been really good. It's actually been really grounding for me, especially as school tends to continue to be stressful and still seeing clients. It's really crazy to think like that I'm somebody's therapist. What? All of that, learning that, training, and then 3 days a week, all the things that happen with that, school. I'm almost done. We're almost there. I'm in year 4 out of 5, finishing up year 4 out of 5. When all of that stuff is super stressful and feels up in the air sometimes because I still have these milestones to hit, I still have things I need to pass to graduate. That is scary, stressful. I have to work on my dissertation. I have not touched that shit. I need to start touching it actually. I should probably start touching it today. That's probably not going to happen. Let's be real here. But anyway, with all of those things, fitness and health has been the priority. I talked to my therapist about how I was feeling guilty for some of the things that I was sacrificing in order to continue to go to the gym and really do that for myself. I really appreciated her reframe because I felt like I wasn't giving enough into my degree and I could do more and spend more time in it. But it has been such a source of stress, and there's just so much that I've often feel overwhelmed, and I will prioritize going to the gym over doing other things unless it's dire. Last semester I had to take a class that I had to stop the gym. I had to stop for a few weeks. I was still doing yoga and walking here and there, but I had to prioritize that class. I needed to pass it. So that's what I did. When I have to, I have no choice. I have to do those things and give that up. But on a day-to-day basis, I do prioritize the gym. I'll do whatever it takes to get there. And my, therapist was saying like, but why do you feel bad about that? Like, why do you feel guilty? Where's that coming from? I don't like feeling like I'm behind and I don't know things. There's lots of imposter syndrome. I should be further. I should know more. Why do these things feel so complicated? Should I be spending more time on this stuff? And she was just like, are you going to spend that much? How are you going to live after you graduate? What is that actually going to look like for you? I'd probably be doing a lot of the same things and be less stressed and restructure certain things as I go into the work field. She was saying, even if I did spend more time, it doesn't mean I would necessarily feel any different. I do think I need to spend better time preparing for certain things. But other than that, it's like, this is a part of my life now. That is something, my health and fitness is something I can control in this season. Lean into the things that you can control. I think it's helpful and grounding. Even yesterday when I was getting stressed out about something that at internship, I was on the treadmill and I was like, Mariah, finish this workout, ignore that for now, come back to this later. You will finish this workout. None of the outside stuff is going to stop you from moving your body right now, doing what you got to do to get where you want to go. That was really grounding and helpful to find that in fitness. I think oftentimes, I know I'm using fitness as an example, and that's hard for some people, right? It's been hard for me. This has not been linear at all. It has been a roller coaster of a time. It took time to get there. It's taken a long time for me to be here now, at least 5 years, for me to really be in this mind state when it comes to the gym. And I've had mind states like this in the past, but something about this time is a little different. It's a little bit more integrated into my life in a larger way. It doesn't have to be fitness. It can be other things you feel like you have control over. Like Brandy, who was on our 2 episodes ago, she bakes a lot and like she really enjoys baking. That's her shit. And she said she's baked before. She kind of baked during COVID like this, but this time it's different, right? And I think even though things can get frustrating sometimes, like she might have something that doesn't turn out the way she wants it to. Like if she's making sourdough and that batch isn't that great, by the way, her sourdough goes crazy. I've never had sourdough. Like, and to watch her do the whole thing from scratch and that shit actually turn into bread is really crazy. Like, bakers are chemists. Anyway, even if that one batch doesn't turn out well, or I have a workout that is super ass, it doesn't mean that we stop. We have to accept this trial and error piece. And I think that's what makes, when you do have something you desire or you're being pulled towards or something that you want to express, it can be daunting because we tend to think it needs to be perfect. We have this vast vision and this fantasy of what it's going to look like, and we're not really real with ourselves. And then we feel out of control in it. When in actuality, you do have full control over your behaviors and how you react to things. So even if it doesn't turn out the way you thought it did the first time, how can we shift the mindset so that you are capitalizing on the growth, like the learning, and keeping that momentum going so that you can do it better the next time and do it better the next time. Like I tweaked my back in June of last year. That shit took me out for the summer pretty much. I really need to go get that checked out, to be honest, because it's still like, I'm pretty sure I have a herniated disc. I'm like 95% sure, and it's only going to be harder to deal with as I get older. So I definitely need to go. What I did, I had to stop the gym for a few months in the summer, and then I was getting back into it. And what I told myself was, because I was pissed, like I was pissed that I couldn't lift heavy. But what I told myself was, okay, you're coming here. I had to let go of the lifting and all those into like really crazy body physique goals of super huge quads and all that stuff. But I came back to, what does it really mean to be able to do this, right? I recognize for myself that the only time I really feel present is when I'm working out. I had to remind myself, okay, you're here to connect with your body. Be present in your body, see what you can do, move slow, and just really be with yourself. So that is another version of being embodied, right? And so I started really slow. I had to start stretching. I incorporated stretching before any lift, particularly lower body days. I do a longer warm up and stretch for my lower back. Since then, the tweak does not inhibit my lifts and I am able to lift heavy again. There's some days where I don't feel it at all. And most days I actually don't feel it at all. Like I can feel it if I start moving around and push my hip in a certain way, like I can find where it is and feel it a little bit. But it took time. Like that was July. I didn't really start getting heavy into heavy lifting again. So I started reconnecting with my body, stretching more, prioritizing the mindset of like, I'm here to be with my body. That really changed my relationship to working out. And that was in August. June was the tweak. August was when I had to reframe it, start stretching, be present with my body. I didn't start really heavy lift, and then I had to take a break because of that course. So I was inconsistent in the gym through the fall semester. January is when I really started to lift for real again and get back to where I wanted to be. I take my supplements very seriously. I take stretching very seriously. I could stretch more, I'm not gonna lie. I do a lot of pre-work lift stuff. I need to do more post-lift stuff. I take creatine for recovery. It's been a fun journey. And I'm saying all of that and breaking that down because I think when we want to implement new things and we want to be the person that does this, or this is the type of person I want to be, I want to lean into this, and we get caught up in the end result, right? The outcome. We have to find ways to fall in love with the process. For me, the mind body connection and being like, I'm here to be with my body, that reframe and slowing down helped me finally indulge in the process a little bit more and be happy to be in the process. I also started appreciating where my body was more in that moment, especially as you're seeing little things, right? My body made me sit the fuck down with that tweak. I had to really appreciate where I was to be back in the gym in the first place and go from there. The expectations we place on ourselves when we're so outcome driven really ruin the thing. It ruins that form of expression or that thing that you really care about. And when it's great, right? So when the outcome is what you're looking for, it feels really, really good. But how can we make the journey, the trial and error, and the playing around just as good, just as fun, just as good? I think that's really important during this time to remember, especially if you are going to try something new and get out there. It can be really defeating if it doesn't turn out the way you think it was. So, how do we release some of these expectations and really understand what we want from it, right? Because it's not the thing. What do you think the thing is going to allow you to feel, right? That's what you're looking to get from the thing, right? And so, when I think about the fitness stuff, I want to feel strong. I want to be able to run around with my future children. I want to be able to play sports with them. I want to be able to chase them around. I want to live long. I want to be a grandparent. I want to be there long. Like, I didn't have grandparents long. Both my grandparents passed when I was like 11. I want to be able to do those things. I want to be able to live as optimally as possible for myself. There's lots of feelings, right? Like the feeling of connection and love and being able to be with family and an active participant in my life as long as I can be. There's lots of feelings there. That's a lot of the motivator, right? And I feel like I'm accomplishing that in the process. Every lift, I feel like I'm feeling good, I'm feeling strong. So it is providing me that feeling even in the journey. But then there are days where the lift isn't going to be as good, but it's like I got there anyway, right? So I can still cultivate that feeling because it's like you showed up, like you showed up today. I think when you analyze your interest in what you're doing right now, or whatever the thing is that you want to take off, or whatever, you're trying to focus on during this dumpster fire of a country, I think be kind to yourself, right? Because these forms of expression are really important. Using your voice is really important during this time. We don't need to beat ourselves up about that or get too in the weeds. So if there's something that is calling to you for you to embody yourself better, do that. It doesn't matter what it is. If you feel like you're going to be a better you through fitness or through pursuing some of your hobbies or sharing thoughts with others, planning events, working on your business, any of those things, I encourage you to take it day by day, slow down, appreciate, and find ways to love the process and the journey. Be kind to yourself through that process and look for support. Talk to other people about it. And eventually, it does become this is who I am now, right? So when we think of the few episodes back of the lifestyle and personality and change episode, it does become this is who I am now. Even when it comes to this podcast, this was a really long journey, but I feel like I can say that I'm a podcaster. I have over 37 episodes. So I am a podcaster, regardless of who's watching. So when it comes to this podcast, this has been a whole journey. And I went on a 6-month hiatus. I was just like, what the hell am I doing? It took others to get me back to it. If you have people who are fully invested in your growth and are cheering you on and are just telling you, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? Like they're seeing something in you that you're ignoring a lot of the time. And man, does Brandy get in my ass about some of this stuff. So she is largely why I was able to come back into this podcast space. When I took my hiatus, I had a really hard time. I'm back and I'm like, wow, the approach is totally different and I am enjoying it. I sit here, have no idea what the hell I'm about to say to you guys, and then I just start yapping because I am a certified yapper. And so here we are. But the point is, now I've had to find ways to be in love with the process, right? I had an episode that had almost 400 views a few weeks ago, and now I'm back to my episodes having like 11, 12 views. It is what it is, right? I'm still going to show up and do this because I believe in what I'm saying. I think it can help people. I have had some feedback where it's helping people. So if it's helping one person, if only one person's listening to this and they're getting something from it, that is what matters. I genuinely enjoy doing this right now in front of the camera, divulging all of my crazy thoughts that I have throughout the week and just sharing it with you guys. So it's just really nice to be in a space like that where I'm allowing myself to fuck around and find out. It is always the fuck around and find out that you come back to, that we come back to in this life, because really, what is life right now? What is it? And it's hard to feel like, oh, let's just go business as usual, right? That's not the case. And it's like, how do you do all this and work on all this and allow yourself to be you when the world is on fire? And I think they want us to be fearful and they want us to collapse. I think about all the things that I would do that I know wasn't good for myself, but I fed into anyway. And that's what they want. They want us to keep doing that, whether that be doom scrolling and the fear mongering and non fear mongering and the propaganda and the not propaganda. It's just so much happening. I think what we can do right now is stay informed, look for real sources, share with others, keep talking about it. If you feel comfortable and safe enough, you can go to a protest. These boycotts have been great. I have not stepped foot in Starbucks since October of 2023. Same goes with Target. I think those are really great ways that you can do it, especially when it feels overwhelming. Be with your people, continue to build community, continue to be with others, because they want this individualistic, capitalistic society. They want to keep us separate. And this is not the time to be separate. Yeah, I think lean into some of the stuff that fills your cup, parts of your life that you can control, and what's a feasible way for you to do that, and just enjoy the process. Come back to the little things. The outcome is going to be whatever the outcome is going to be, but we have to find joy and love and patience in the process and in the little itty bitty pieces. So I think that's everything I had today. It's a little bit of a shorter episode, which is fine. Let me know how you guys are doing in the comment section. If there's any thoughts, questions that you have, how you're feeling, anything in this episode resonate, what you're working on, what's one thing you feel like you have control over. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to this wherever you listen to your podcast, don't forget to follow and leave a 5-star review if you like this episode, and then check out some of my previous episodes. Thanks so much, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.